you've been teasing it for a few minutes now, and I'm pretty sure everybody wants to hear it. What's it like getting an email from Roman Gorsjean going, I want you to be part of my team? Like, that is an established F1 name and now established IndyCar name.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wicked.
You said that so casually.
It's like, we obviously look up to these guys. So for them to want you in their team because of you've displayed skill and talent, etc., is a really big achievement in itself.
Mm-hmm. So say that was 2020 they contacted you, or was it 2019?
It was 2021, I think. 2021. Yeah.
Some COVID era time, whenever that was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
when the world went to shit, that's when they contacted.
Basically, yeah.
So being part of an esports team, what's that like? Because I find it so. My world is rugby. I love motorsport is my first love, but rugby was the sport I could play and do, probably because of the entry fee, as we were discussing earlier. But yeah, so being an esports member, because I'm very much a pack your bag, go to training, go to the gym, do whatever you need to do, get on the team bus. How does an esports team work? Like, do you have like regular meetings? Is there like training sessions on? I assume it's like a lobby type session.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the contact's very, very close. Communication's obviously key. And for these big events, there are plenty of practice sessions together. We all need to understand the car. The unique thing is, you need to have a very good feel of the car, but in these endurance races, everyone needs to have a good feel for the car. So you need to set up the car for the team, not for the driver.
That was going to be my next question. So in the pit stops, can you change the settings within a parameter, or is it
no?
This is the tuning for the race?
Yeah, basically, once when you say have the setup applied, that's it for the race. There's very few things that you can change. Like some cars, like the IndyCar and Supercar, you can change the roll bars just like in real life.
Nice.
But in other cars, it's basically just brake bias, ABS settings, traction control. Yeah, pretty minimal. Just like in real life, really.
Wow. So how does a normal week of an esports team look like? What's the normal schedule looking like? Say it's like a race weekend.
Race week. Yeah. Well, a lot of the time, some people might have worked during the day. So but basically every day, there'll be a session on the lead up to a big race event. You'll be practicing every day together for a few hours for a really big event. Like something like Bathurst 12, Spa 24 hour. You have some drivers, some teams putting in 30, 40 hours individually each. So a huge amount of time.
That's a full, not to sound like as shocked as it might across, but like to put that in perspective, that's almost a full conventional 9 to 5 working week just on the sim.
Yeah. Like a lot of people talk about speed running, in games or whatever. I think sim racing is maybe one of people don't look at it, but I mean you have to be. We're trying to be within a few hundreds over every single lap for every single driver over 24 hours, maximizing everything on fuel, on tires, everything. It is, it's really, really, it's full on.
I think it was McNish. He said they're not looking for drivers anymore. You're looking for fighter pilots that are happy to be on land, because you need to have such control and composure to be able to, like you said, adjust brake bias, adjust ABS.
Yeah, you have to think about strategy. You need to be clever behind the wheel. You need to pick and choose your battles. You have to be so especially in endurance race, like in a sprint, you can go a lot more flat out. You got limited time there, so you can take more risks. But in endurance, in an endurance setting, you need to drive at a pace that is, very, very, very fast. Drive almost as quick as you can, but still have 5% in reserve.
I was gonna say, yeah, so you're almost aiming for like a 95 percentile.
Yeah,
pace.
basically. Well, you almost want to have like a kind of like 100% pace while still having 5% in reserve, not taking risks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it's kind of like 100%. Like it's a weird thing to say, but 100% pace while still having 5% in reserve, which I know is kind of impossible, but it's something that I've learned a fair bit about over the past like as this year especially, just maturing as a driver and whatnot. Yeah.
So a quick sidetrack. Comparing your racing in the real world, IRL, if we're going to be hip for the kids, and the sim racing world, does that affect your mentality in a race? Because obviously, there's a lot less chance, like we've said at the start, you're not going to wreck a car in sim racing. Obviously, you'll put the team out of the race or in the pits for a few hours, but you're not going to wreck somebody's car and think, I've got to go back to the paddock and explain to this man why it's in a wall.
I never struggle with separating the two. I know some people are like, well, I don't want to do too much sim because it affects the way that I drive in real life. But for me, I don't have any issue going from sim to real life.
Wow.
If anything, it's the other way around for me. Like it takes me a little bit. After a racing weekend, it takes me a little. It takes me like an hour to get back into the get used to the sim again because it's a different feel.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I don't really have any issue switching from sim to real life. For me, I treat the two differently. Yeah.
Okay, so is it like almost flicking a switch kind of? You're just like, okay, I'm in a real car now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. That's interesting because we're going to come on to a topic later where I really want to talk about the mentality of driving the cars. But